folks lied to you. Radio lied to you. Radio fucked you.
Around Robert, did your relationship turn from friendship into something sexual?
So.
The fuck?
Pause, please. Need some water? Yeah, right.
Contrary to the entertainment field, when it comes to the judicial system, what you say can and will be used against you. They tell you that when they arrest you, right? Yet somehow, no one managed to advise these girls this specific thing when they started to speak out. So people gonna have to miss me with that victim shaming bullcrap just because they banked on the fact that they would make these bogus allegations against a man and expect the whole world to turn their back on him without investigating the motives for these people's allegations.
I can tell you that his so-called victims don't want to testify against him, okay? So I don't know how the feds are going to really prove this case if they ain't got no witnesses. I think the only witness they got is Geronda, but they can tear her whole motherfucking story up. Ooh, this water is so good. Yeah, so it's not a very strong case, okay? Azrael doesn't even want to testify. I think she watered down her story. She watered it down. People were not taking her serious. I mean, she could have really, really collected big off of this and started a movement. But instead, she's thirsty. She's thirsty for fame. She's thirsty just for attention. And it's sad. It's really, really sad. Yeah, they love him. I mean, she only left because money was getting tight. Like, there was no money. You know, they were about to lose the apartment. That day they were moving out, she moved out. Her dad got her, 6 weeks prior to that? But, yeah, so the crisis manager has literally been using R. Kelly as his, selling point. And there are about 7 families that he's collected total, I think, $1 million. Each of their cases are different. That ghost on them, okay? That ghosting. He's out here in Atlanta still selling. They can't get their money back. So they've literally gotten the FBI involved. There is a tip line for him. A tip line. What is his name? Hold on. I think his name is Daryl Tracy Johnson. Yes. Y'all remember him, Daryl Tracy Johnson, the con artist. They said the con artist that represented R. Kelly. Yeah. So I'm going to be putting together a full breakdown on that. I'm going to be interviewing the families. Somebody said, wasn't he already a scammer? I didn't know. And the phone rang, something just told me to answer it. And I'm like, who is this? And I don't know if y'all remember the lady that bailed R. Kelly out of jail. Do you remember? Do y'all remember? Yes. I got a call from her, and we talked for about an hour. Nella said, I remember that idiot. No. So we talked for an hour, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit of what we talked about because she has agreed to sit down with me. Her and R. Kelly, she wasn't some random person. They've known each other their whole lives, okay? Now, she gave us some information on because she said she doesn't own a daycare. She actually owns a restaurant, so the media got that wrong. Her mom owns a daycare, but she owns restaurants. Yes. And she said that R. Kelly's team knew. Well, R. Kelly knew, just, that she had the money, and so that's why she fronted it. But she didn't know it was going to be all of that. And because she wouldn't have done it if she was going to be front and center, because she asked him, she said, did you really do this? And he was like, come on, I can have any woman in the world. Why would I do that? But she's agreed to sit down with me. But interesting enough, she said that there was a lawsuit that R. Kelly had filed against his label, and that there's paperwork on it, and she wants to explain everything to me and my audience. And she wouldn't have agreed to sit down with me if it wasn't for me interviewing Jen. What was the other girl? Damn it, I forgot her name. The twins. You know what I'm talking about? But the only reason I interviewed the twins is because I felt like their entire story wasn't told. You know what I'm saying? And you guys know I've covered all aspects of that.
Now, I don't know what Tasha K called herself doing, but shout out to her for putting this information out there. And it would be nice if she put it on the same platform she's been on, slandering R. Kelly for the past 3 years. But shout out to Toy for sending me those audio clips, because I do appreciate it. But it just proves my point. These people know these stories are not consistent. They know these people are not being honest, but people feel like, oh, he's got to be guilty of something, so they're okay with the injustice that's going on with his case. As I've said before, I've seen real victims and women going through the struggle. I've seen women who have been manipulated and have been turned to things such as drugs and dependent on certain activities. So I can't accept certain narratives that I've heard when it comes to R. Kelly abusing his so-called authority, because these women claim they had such a dream of being a star. If you recall, when I first came out, I told you all my dreams when I was a child that I wanted to model, but I had to wait till I was an adult. So with that being said, if I realized that something wasn't right, that you got all these sexual things going on in the background that I didn't want to be a part of, and this is where I'm speaking from, it should say a lot when you look in my comments and hear or see stupid people still trying to say we're victim shaming when that's far from the truth. Just because their stories do not sound right and or their stories do not match up with the paper trail that they're leaving behind. Now, with that being said, every day I go to work, I look at this woman and she sleep outside in a tent. People go back and forth, never offer her any assistance. She clearly is going through some things. So occasionally when she comes over, I give her a hand. Long story short is, I just feel like, point blank period, you should have discernment to be able to listen to women tell their stories and see if this woman has any accountability into what went on in her life, or if she really is a victim. Most victims that I know would rather be a survivor and overcome their messed up situation.
I lived with my dad. He turned out to be a molester, so his wife left him. So now I live downtown LA as a prostitute, and I'm a crackhead.
You do crack?
Yeah.
And where do you stay? You're in a tent?
No, I just walk the streets all night and day. Yeah.
And
I'm a clone.
well, did I already talk to you?
No.
You sure I haven't talked to you?
No.
I think I have.
No.
So who do you stay with now?
I stay with my father, but he turned out to be a molester, so I just walk the streets day and night, prostituting and smoking. Downtown LA.
Yeah, you look very different. I think I spoke to you before. Have you finished school? How much school?
I went to CSUN. I got accepted to ELP, a special program. So I dropped out after 2 years.
These are the type of people that I feel sorry for, not these people chasing to be the next celebrity's sugar baby.